Hello gamers, and welcome back to another episode of Solo Spelunking. And for those of you waiting for Keep on the Shadowfell, don't worry, this will not be the weekend video. This is an basically an additional video, because I want to showcase again my new product, the Solo RPG framework and toolbox for space opera games, because even though I did use it somewhat in my last Shadowdark adventure, I didn't showcase all the mechanics because of the story I was involved in. So what I will be doing tonight, I will be taking my private game that I'm playing off camera, which is basically a light I'm a smuggler space trucking game, and I will use this game, I will get into this in a minute, to showcase some more mechanics of this Solo RPG framework and toolbox. Mainly, I think, or I hope, depends on the dice roll, the urban encounter generator, maybe some bulletin board jobs, underworld jobs, so that you can get a better idea of what it is you get in this product. But before I start, a little bit about my game. So this journal here is the journal I use for my private off-camera game. So you see I got a couple of tables in here and a point crawl map for generic traveling, and this is where these are all the pages I've filled so far with my private game that I play while I'm on vacation, or when I got a couple of maybe like half an hour or an hour in the afternoon or something. So this is what I call basically my kitchen table game. And it also uses, of course, the Shadowdark system. It is a Star Wars game. This is my character, and as usual, he is a smuggler. And it's Galen Ryder. You know him from my very first series, but it's of course not the same Galen Ryder. I like to recycle names, basically. I got like 3 or 4 smuggler names that I always use, like Galen Ryder, Nesh Duncan, or Ren Ashfield. So these are my basically my smuggler names that I keep recycling. So this is Galen Ryder. He's a human, because you know by now I always play humans. He's a scoundrel, and he's already level 4. And I got at the moment 2 XP I need for the 40 XP I need to get to level 5. But he's not too strong. I got 12 hit points. I have an AC of 16, wearing my light armor disguised as a padded leather jacket. I got the usual DL44, Comlink datapad, a multi-tool. So my expert knowledge by my Shadowdark rules is I'm a mechanic. And for my talent rolls, I got +1 AC from light armor. And I got a total of +2 to ranged attacks. And and this is basically what I got. And at the moment, I have 1,060 credits, which is not a lot. But on the back of this sheet, this is my ship. Classic YT 1300, the Never Too Late. And this ship is beefed up pretty good, actually. But it's damaged at the moment. So I'm at 7 hull out of 20. And those don't regenerate. I need to repair them. I haven't modified my hyperdrive yet. It's still ×2. But my speed is modified up to 7 from its base speed of 4, which is the maximum possible. So this is why it says max mod here. So these are the rules in my Starships of the Galaxy supplement, where you can basically increase a starting stat for a maximum of 3 steps. So also my handling is at +3, starting from 0. So there I'm also at max mod. My shield is +2 from 0, so there I got 1 point left. It's also modified, but It's not the maximum. My ship is wanted at the moment because of some the usual dogfighting Imperials, evading customs, you know the drill. So the AC of my ship is actually pretty good. Its AC is 18, and this is the 10 base. 3 handling and 2 shield is 15, and I have a dex modifier of +3 that I use for piloting, so that's AC 18. So I still got my dual laser turret, which deals d6 damage to enemies that are near. My fire control is +2 actually from the cockpit. So I souped up the cockpit fire control because I usually fly alone and I have to operate the turret from the cockpit. If I'm in the, or if a crew member's in the turret, it's only +1. So this gives me a total of +5 attack. That is my +3 dex, +2 fire control. And my pilot skill modifier is also +6. That is 3 for handling and 3 for my dexterity. And my background is I'm a smuggler, and I didn't roll this, I just chose this. And for my expert ability as a scoundrel, I chose mechanics, or I'm a mechanic. So this is my character. And at the moment, I only have 1,060 credits, but I just made it to Nar Shaddaa. So because I took a job for a female Nautolan, and she asked me, so she was on Nar Shaddaa, and she asked me to go to Tatooine, pick up 7 crates of cargo, no questions asked, and I was not supposed to open them, and I was supposed to deliver them to her to Nar Shaddaa. And I did that. It is stolen blast tech. This is what I determined, and I had a couple of random encounters here that I interpreted as corporate security listening in on our conversation because they were tracking this cargo, but I already evaded them. So I had a couple of fights. This is why my hull is also damaged. So now we are picking up the game with me. I just arrived on Nar Shaddaa, and Nar Shaddaa is a low security planet by my framework rules. And while I was, we're starting the game with me landed on Nar Shaddaa. I'm landed in the northern hemisphere, quadrant 3, and it is 1800 hours, so 6 p.m. And while I was landing my ship, I already contacted my employer, the Nautolan, and I reported from the events that I was basically intercepted, ambushed, and everything. And I told her that I want a quick delivery. So I want her basically to get over here and pick up the cargo, and the payment is 1,000 credits per crate. So I picked up 7 crates, so she still owes me 7,000 credits for this job. And this is where we will pick up this game, and where I can hopefully showcase a little bit of the framework of the system. All right, so first we need to determine, so I told her, listen, you got to get over here quick because these crates are hot, as you probably know. And I was already attacked by security vessels and pirates and whatnot. So I want to get this stuff off my ship. So let's get over here. And in case you're wondering what this blue line is, this is the space that is visible in the camera. So this is how I know what you can see. Yeah, so the question now is she able, or does she come right away to pick up the cargo? And this is a classic Oracle question, and I think she's also got an interest in getting her stuff, so I'll give it a likelihood of 70%. And because this is also like a promotional video, if you look at my space opera framework, there's the section here, the Oracle, and there I basically explain the simple percentile oracle that I use, where you basically assign the likelihood for yes, and then you roll percentile dice. And if it's within the likelihood, it's a yes. If it's above, it's a no. If you roll doubles, you insert a random event, a twist, using prompts from the random idea generator included here. And the top and bottom 5% are exceptional results. This is basically all there is to it. So there's no table involved here. I just set the likelihood by what I think makes sense in the game world. So, and I'm setting it at 70% because she also wants to get her stuff, but then again, she's a busy Nar Shaddaa crime person. Maybe she's got other stuff to attend to. So 70% yes. And it is 0.6, almost an exceptional yes, but not quite, but it's definitely a yes. So she actually replies via comlink. So I landed and I'm still on my ship, and we're talking from I'm using the ship comlink to contact her, and she goes, well, I've been expecting you, so don't worry. I'll be right over there to get the stuff off your hands. I just need to make a couple of arrangements here to have the right people look away, and then I'll be at your docking bay if you give me the number. Yeah, it's 62, docking bay 62. All right then. So I'll be over there in like 15 to 20 minutes. All right then, I'll see you then. All right, so 15-20 minutes, she actually arrives. So because I don't really want her in my ship, I'm pretty picky about this. So what I'm doing is that I am already lowering the cargo lift, and I'm already unloading the cargo, so that when she arrives, I mean, there are just like 7 crates. The crates are already sitting in the docking bay, so that she actually does not have to enter my ship. And yeah, I got my gun, of course, at the ready in my holster. And because I'm a little skeptical about all this, because like in the Solo movie, trust no one. Okay, so she arrives and she takes a look at these crates. Yeah, they look all right. So she walks around them and inspects them. Doesn't appear as you have tampered with them. No, of course I haven't tampered with them. Why would I? I'm a professional. I'm a businessman. I know the deal. So just take these crates and pay me. All right, and she, of course, brought with her a repulsor sled, a large cargo repulsor sled, and an working droid that is pushing this repulsor sled, and also that is picking up the crates and putting them onto the sled. So this is this working droid here. And sadly, I do not have a female Nautilus miniature, so we just take this Twi'lek as a stand-in. So we are negotiating, and while this guy is picking up the crates. Yeah, all right. So, and now what I usually do is, to add a little tension, I always assign a slim chance that this is a rip deal. That for some reason she can pay or she won't pay or whatever. but it's usually like depends. So I'm usually giving it like a 10% chance. So I'm taking my percentile oracle again. And if you're wondering why I just don't use one die and just say on a 1 it's a rip deal, this is because I want to have the chance to roll doubles to possibly inject a random event into the story. So it's a 10% chance that it's a rip deal. And you know my luck by now. Oh, look at this. 0, 5, an exceptional yes. So it definitely is a rip deal, and it's not only a rip deal because it's an exceptional yes. So not only does she not want to pay me, actually she also wants to get rid of me because I'm a possible witness and I was involved in these dealings. And of course, this is like the worst possible outcome. Maybe. Depends on how the combat goes. Because if I die now, it would be pretty sad, but also I wouldn't get to showcase more elements of the framework. So I might, for the purpose of showcasing the product, I might alter the deal a little to speak with Vader's words. I'm altering the deal. Pray I don't alter it any further. All right, so but we are back into the game. So we're in the process of yeah. So the guy picks up the droid picks up, and I go like, so I hold up my end of the bargain. So now it's your turn. I'm still owed 7,000 credits. And I expect you to pay. Of course. So not only you are a professional, but I am as well. I don't have the money with me, but the droid has, because you know, the streets of Nar Shaddaa, they are not safe, and a droid like this one is less likely to get bothered. So TC-18, do as I told you, and please be so kind and pay the man. Affirmative. And then I realized that this loading droid is also a combat droid. And so this is the combat droid. I'm using the combat droid stats in the Adversaries of the Galaxy supplement. And it says it has an integrated blaster rifle, which attacks +4 1d8. It's got an AC of 14, 12 hit points. It's level 3. And its special abilities are just like it's a droid, so it does not need to breathe, sleep, eat, or drink, immune to heat and cold, immune to poison, can function in a vacuum, integrated computer interface link, and enhanced vision. So, she goes, why don't you pay the man? Affirmative. Elimination protocol. And there's like, remember RoboCop when he has his gun in his thigh that opens up? Basically, it's almost like the same thing. There's like a compartment in the back of this droid, and it opens up. And as you can see on this picture here, like a mounted integrated blaster rifle suddenly appears on its shoulders, and we are entering combat. All right, so it is a, let me just get these stats straight here. Let me get some scrap paper out. All right, the droid. It had, what I said, +4 1d8. AC 14, HP 12. And I think this is all I need for the combat. It doesn't list any stat modifiers, so that means all stats are average, no modifiers for determining initiative. And level 3, yeah, just in case this becomes relevant. 3. All right, and what I do here, or what I'm doing in my private game, just in my startup game, I'm using the Black Stream Solo Heroes rules, or the Scarlet Heroes rules for solo heroes when it comes to converting incoming damage. But I'm only using the rule to convert incoming damage, so I do not have a fray die. I deal normal hit point damage, and the enemies also have normal hit points. So if you're not familiar with these rules, do check them out, then it'll all make sense. So long story short is, these rules are there so that lone heroes have a chance to basically overcome party challenges without too much conversion needed. Okay, so initiative. So the droid has no modifier, and I got +3 dex. So I got actually a pretty good position, but I'll need a different colored die for the droid. So these blue dice will be the droid. And initiative. So, and in Stardark and Shadowdark way, I'm always the black and white die. The droid is blue, and I got +3, and it's 17 to 17, but I got +3. So I do have the initiative. So as she goes, pay the man, and this compartment opens up, I already got my heavy blaster out, my DL-44, pew, pew, and give off a shot. Actually, so this guy, Galen, he shoots way better than Nesh Duncan, because I got +5 attack. I got my 3 dex and my +2 that I rolled to ranged attacks. So it is +5 versus AC of 14. So actually it's not too bad. All right, so it's a hit, but only 1 point of damage. I know my luck. So this this droid, he is armored, so pew, the blaster bolt ricochets off his armor. And let's get out some little, just for fluff, some little terrain pieces here. Just 1 second. So here are the crates that they were supposed to here is a computer data link interface terminal, and here we have a power generator, just to add some, yeah, and this is basically where the entrance to the docking bay is. So just so that it's not that empty. All right, so but see, so I still can move, so I will move to try to take cover. This is just for fluff, behind this data link signpost. And now it's the droid's turn. So the Nautolan, she just watches for the moment. All right, so he also deals 1d8 points of damage. Attacks +4, but I got an AC of 16. And he misses. 2 + 4. Pew! So the bolt hits the data interface post, and he just moves over here to get a better angle. He's not too concerned about cover because he has confidence in his armor plating. All right, so now it's my turn again. And I hit 19 for 2 points of damage. 2 points, so he's at 9. So I do try to take some cover behind here as well, but he can also move before attacking, so he will just move over here. So this is basically just for fluff, and he attacks again. Pew pew from with his mounted. And it's a miss. It's a 4. And even though with a 1 he would have dealt 0 damage. Alright, so my turn. Eight plus 5, that is 13. That is not enough because he's got an AC of 14. So the droid, he moves over here just to push some minis around and attacks. Pew! And this doesn't count, but I'll leave the damage. 6, which would translate to 2 points, but it's a critical failure. Pew! But he does not have to use energy cells because he's got like an internal generator, so his weapon does not run out of juice. So it's a wild gunfight. Blaster bolts are flying around. And now I roll a 1, which means... Damn. Which means my power pack is empty. And I see... that actually I do not have a replacement. Alright, so pew, as I pull the trigger, pew, my power cell is depleted. Alright, so you know what? Damn it. So I can move, so I head towards the entry ramp of my ship, which is some way over here, because I don't want to fight this out because yeah, obviously I forgot to stock up on energy cells, and the droid, he misses thankfully, so he's not much more effective than I am. Alright, so I use my action, so now I'm at the ramp. I use my action to enter the access code to lower the ramp. That is my action. And I'm not moving because I want to get into the ship. So I wait for the ramp to lower itself, and the droid shoots again. And she's like a little bit pissed because obviously he's not performing as she expected, and goes, "What's taking you so long?" Not natural 1 again. So pew, his just for the flavor, his rifle jams up, and now it's my turn again. So for my move, I run up the ramp, and for my action, I hit the close button again so that the ramp is closing itself again. And then so this is pretty secure, so before they can override the lock, I will blast off into space. So I run into the cockpit, and I'm not asking for clearance, so I'm just stating, this is the never too late, making an emergency blast off. I'm attacked. Deal with it. And then I'm just punching it. And thankfully, the engines are still warm because I just landed a couple of minutes ago. Like, it took them like 15-20 minutes to get to my bay, and these Starship engines, they need longer to basically to cool down. So my engines are still warm so that I can make this emergency blast off. So this is also not too bad, because then I can showcase the leaving a planet procedure in the framework. The thing is that it's a little bit a hassle to navigate this PDF, because it's like a PDF, but so I will be using these leaving planetary system after takeoff procedures. When you take off from a planet and travel into space to engage your FTL drive, in this case hyperdrive, use this procedure. So while, and you know in Star Wars, you got to clear the planet's gravity well, you can't engage your hyperdrive within the gravity well. So at least that was the case before Lucas Star Wars. Remember the scene Force Awakens when Han basically disengaged his hyperdrive in the atmosphere of the planet, which is totally stupid. But in real Star Wars, and I'm talking D6 era expanded universe, you had the problem that you had to clear the gravity well. So, and also because Nar Shaddaa is pretty busy. It's like the Coruscant of the Outer Rim. There's also a lot of traffic, so you got to clear this traffic as well. So on my way to the jump drive, check for a random encounter on your way to the jump point. In a high security system, 1 in 6, medium 2 in 6, and in a low security system, which this is, it is a 3 in 6 chance for a random encounter. So let's see what happens. So 1, 2, 3 is a random encounter. It's a 4. All right, so no random encounter. Yeah, so but if there would have been a random encounter, there is this nice space encounter generator in this framework, which gives you a prompt which goes like: your scanners pick up a and then descriptor object that experiences whatever fits an activity, and then either by a, against a, because of a, whatever fits, descriptor object on 1, 2, 3 on a d6, or against the player's ship, or involving the player's ship somehow, 4 to 6 on a d6. And here we got this the entries for descriptor object and activities. And here I give you some interpretation examples how you could interpret these prompts. So I'll just yeah, well, I don't really have to read this to you because the first 12 pages are in the preview that you can look at on DriveThruRPG, so you can just read this for yourself, these examples. But for now, there is no random encounter, which means I safely cleared the gravity well, I safely cleared the orbital traffic, and I'm ready to engage my hyperdrive. And the framework states using your chosen systems, rules, and procedures, whatever they are. So, but first, I need to decide actually where I want it to go. And this is, of course, why such a journal is handy, because what I did is, as you can see, whenever I visited a planet, I put the planet like in the center of the journal and I underlined it so that if you flip through it, you can easily see where you have been, and you can skim through your notes to see what happened on the planet. And let's see because I'm in the Outer Rim now. Let's see if there's a planet in the Outer Rim that I have been to before. But if not, that's all right as well, because then we can just create one, of course, using the framework. Oh, I think these are all Outer Rim planets, because you know what? I'm just going to check the star charts for the nearest planet, just to basically regroup, whatever, to see what I will be doing now. So again, and there's this section in here which says sandbox sector generation, and I'm just going to generate a planet now real quick. Those of you that have picked up my Shadowdark supplement might be familiar with the system, because of course I didn't reinvent the wheel, I just added some stuff. So what you first do is you roll a d12 to determine the type, the system type. That is what gives the system its general flair, like a world tag. And so I'm just generating one system, because this is like the nearest system. So I rolled a 9. So 9 is 7, 8, 9. A scientific research system. This states this system has something of interest to science. It might be exotic flora or fauna, unique atmospheric phenomena, or some other strange occurrence. These systems are usually not very densely populated and feature scientific outposts or research stations, often owned by large corporations that want to use the scientific research for commercial gain. Alright, so now we know it is a scientific research station. The next thing you need for the framework is the security level. And you determine this just with 1d6. So let's roll 1d6. 1, 2 is low, 3, 5 medium, and 6 high. And it is 5, which means medium security. And here in this framework, some systems, they have some limitations. So for example, a devastated by war system can't be high security, or an administrative center is always high security. So in these cases, you will not roll. But if there's nothing stated, it's just rolled. Of course, a wretched hive of scum and villainy, which is also what Nar Shaddaa is always low security. So there's some parameters that are set. But this is a medium security system, scientific research. Now the last thing still to do is roll up 2 terrain types. And here it says roll up 2 major terrain types using common sense to adjust for system type. And then I give you an example. A breadbasket system would usually not have barren rock as terrain, for example, because that wouldn't make sense. So here we just roll 2d10, because we roll up 2 terrain types. Star Wars planets, you know, they feature mostly only 1 or 2. So 8 and 9. Towering mountain range and a water world with tropical islands. Alright, so that means that except for the polar regions, which are towering mountain ranges, the entire planet is a water world dotted with medium-sized tropical islands, and the scientific research that is going on there is that there's a certain sea creature that is known for their regenerative capabilities, and this is like then a pharma corporation researching these sea creatures, and they have purchased like 2 or 3 islands, and the waters around these islands are corporate territory where they perform their research. They're basically like off limits, but they're also on these islands a couple of smaller towns. So I'm thinking you've probably, if you've seen The Bad Batch, this island where they basically established their home base, The Bad Batch. that is also then featured in the finale. So I'm thinking something like this, water world. And now the only thing we still need is a name. So this will be the planet Elradur. Sounds Tolkien-like, but that's all right. Elradur, and it is in the Outer Rim because it's next to Nar Shaddaa, and it is scientific research. Put this in my journal. And it is medium security. Medium security. And this is the next planet, and it has terrain is water world and mountain ranges. All right, so now we need to determine how long it takes us to get there. And yeah, you can do this if you want to generate a sector with the sector map, which is also featured here. And then there are these hyperspace lanes that connect the planets. And then you have the travel time, but if you, so this is the example, and in my case, using Shadowdark, you would multiply this travel time with your hyperdrive multiplier to get the actual travel time, and for every started 10 hours of travel time, you will have to make a check. So, but now I'm ruling because we determined this is the closest, the next planet over. I just want to get away from Nar Shaddaa to stay low for a while. I'm going to just roll a d6. It doesn't really matter because, oh yes, it does matter because if it's above 10 hours, it'll be 2 checks. All right, so let's roll a d6 for the hours. So it's 2 hours, but I gotta multiply this with my hyperdrive multiplier, which I didn't improve. It's still times 2. So for me, it is a 4-hour travel or journey. And for every starting 10 hours, this is what the framework says in here for the faster than light traveling procedures, which I will be showing to you also. So this is the faster than light travel section, and it says for every 10 hours, for every beginning interval of 10 hours, there's a 1 in 10 chance that a random encounter occurs. And here it's just a 1 in 10, so no oracle roll. And if I roll a 1, here it's not an encounter generator, it's a list, but it's pretty open. So because the encounters that are happening in deep space are also pretty restricted to what can happen in the system, because usually once you're in hyperspace, at least in Star Wars, but also in other systems, once you're in hyperdrive or faster than light travel, you're usually pretty safe, but there's still something that can happen. So I'm going to roll on a 1. We will feature a random encounter. And it's a 1, which is actually great. So because then I get to roll and show you one of the encounters. So I'm heading to Elradur in the Outer Rim, and 5. All right, 5. 5 is a distress call, technical difficulties. You pick up a distress call from a nearby vessel. So this is a variable again that you roll. So it can be, they experience severe technical difficulties and require assistance. And now this is a little bit tricky because this is out of character knowledge. If you decide to help, roll 1d6 upon arrival. On a 1 or 2, it is a pirate/slaver ambush. They transmitted a fake signal to lure ships out of FTL travel to their location. And now this is tricky because, of course, now I, as the player and GM, I know that there might be danger, but I have to think as my character. And my character is a spacer, and there's like an honor codex between spacers, so that if someone is in distress, you help them. Because if you are in distress and have severe technical difficulties, you would have them help you as well. So actually, for Galen, it is not a question if he helps or not. He will definitely help. So the thing is now, is it an ambush or not? But first we have to decide what kind of vessel it is. And for vessel, you go to the bulletin board job generator, because that one features the vessels right here. So let's roll a d8. Where's my d8? Here. It is 2, a bulk freighter. All right, this is fitting. So a bulk freighter, which are like large freighters usually belonging to corporations. And I determined that this is like, I'm on the way to Elradur Scientific Research Station, and there's a pharma corporation doing the research. So this bulk freighter is actually a freighter that was on approach to the scientific outpost, carrying supplies and everything. And he is experiencing severe technical difficulties. So I'm picking up this distress signal. And of course, maybe there's some money in it for me if I assist. We will see. So I'm picking up the distress signal. It goes basically like, Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. This is Corporate Freighter Telarus. Corporate Freighter Telarus. We are suffering severe technical difficulties. Our main power generator has gone down. We are on emergency power. Life support is about to fail. We require assistance. To all ships in the vicinity, please assist. All right, so, and I home in on the coordinates, and oh, I've got something. I forgot to make the hyperdrive check, but that's all right. Never mind. So I head over there, and I want to help this corporate vessel, this corporate bulk freighter. And now I have a 1 in basically 1/3 chance, 1/2 on a d6, that I'm really screwed, because, well, maybe screwed. My ship is in pretty good shape, but I'm at 7 points of hull, and if I'm unlucky, it's an ambush. So please stay with me here. Come on. Please, no ambush. Please, no ambush. Please, no ambush. All right, so what's your guess? Ambush? Probably, huh? Ah, no. Haha, thank God it's not an ambush. It is actually not an ambush. All right, so I arrive. And yeah, and I see indeed this bulk freighter. And I'm hailing them. This is Galen Ryder from the Never Too Late. I've picked up your distress signal and I'm here to assist you. Please give me docking instructions. I will come aboard and assist with the repairs if it's within my capabilities. All right then. Yeah, thank you for your assistance, Galen Ryder. Never too late. We're transmitting docking coordinates now, and they transmit coordinates on which hatch I'm supposed to dock. All right, and while I'm docking, I wanna of course go into these encounters again, since this is a product showcase as well. See. Wait wait, I gotta find this page again. Like I said, I don't really like navigating PDFs. If I'm playing analog, I'd rather have it printed. And I will get it printed, but I want to wait if I catch some major things that need to be fixed first. All right, so I want to get into these encounters. While there are only 8 possible encounters, from this encounter you already see that this encounter can have very different flavors depending on which kind of vessel maybe is issuing the distress call, and if it's an ambush or not, and then again if these are pirates or slavers that you can also roll off, because they have different motivations. Pirates are after cargo, money. Slavers, they want you to enslave you to work in the mines. So even though this is only one encounter, because this is not fixed, so the vessel is a variable, and it's also variable if it's an ambush, and the ambusher is variable, this encounter can play out in different ways. What else do we have here? You can have technical difficulties, you can encounter navigational hazard, you can be interdicted by the military. Then we have distress call under attack. That is a definite space combat. So again, you pick up a distress call from a vessel, and they have come under attack by pirate slavers and call for help. Then, of course, it's your call if you want to help them or not. Here you know you're going to face combat. Distress call might be combat, might be not. Then we have an automated distress call from an escape capsule, which says you pick up an automated and standardized distress call that is automatically sent out by a jettisoned escape capsule nearby. Someone might be in dire need of assistance. Here again, chance for an ambush, but here it is only a 1 in 6 chance that they transmitted a fake signal to lure ships to the location. And if it's an escape capsule, you generate an NPC occupant with the NPC generator or any of these tables where you could roll for an NPC. So this could also lead to different interesting role-playing opportunities depending on who's in the escape capsule. So again, it's one encounter, one possible encounter, but different outcomes. Then we have the classical space creature encounter, and of course the standard you are attacked encounter. And this is what can happen while you're traveling through hyperspace. But back to the game. So I got my docking coordinates, and I'll dock and I assist with the repairs. I got a multi-tool kit, and luckily my expert knowledge is I'm a mechanic, and by my rules every starship features some standard spare replacement parts, like that you need to make standardized repairs. So let's determine if repairing this vessel is within my capabilities, meaning not my capabilities, but do I have the necessary stuff on board? Do I have the necessary stuff on board? I'll give it a 70% chance. I rolled the wrong dice, sorry. Again. 70% chance. 86. So it is not, so I do not have what I need. But now I'm going to check, can I jury rig it? And there's a 50% chance now that I can jury rig it. That means the check is harder and it won't last as long, but they could continue, otherwise I need basically to evacuate them. So can I jury rig? 74, of course, also not. So I look at the damage, and it's indeed pretty severe. They've blown their whole, I don't know, power regulation matrix. Little techno brabble here. So I'm looking at the damage, and I'm looking at the damage with the ship's engineer of this bulk freighter. And yeah, he also goes like, it's bad, huh? Yeah. I consider myself a capable mechanic, but there's nothing I can do. I can't jury rig it. I can't repair it. I don't have the necessary parts. So, where are you headed? Well, we are headed for Elradur. What a coincidence. This is where I was headed as well. So what we can do is, I can take you, so we stop the ship, we set the autopilot to hold position, you lock the coordinates, then life support will fail, but that's alright because we're of the ship. I transport you to Elradur, and then you said this is a corporate vessel. Your corporation, you got the coordinates, they can retrieve the ship with a repair team equipped for these repairs. Yeah, that sounds indeed reasonable. So, would you do that? Well, of course, I'm a spacer. This is Spacer's honor, but I do require some form of compensation. Because, see, my ship is in pretty bad shape as well, and I just got ripped off doing a job. I didn't get paid. They even wanted to kill me. I will not go into the details. So my ship is in need of repairs as well, and my credit balance is low. So if I pick you up, I think your corporation, they probably have an insurance for these kind of things. So, are you authorized to guarantee me some form of corporate compensation if I help you? He goes, well, as you said, we are insured and it's not my money. As a matter of fact, yeah, I can offer you up to a certain fee. I can offer you up to 5,000 credits. Well, that's better than nothing. I'm taking the 5,000, but I'm sorry, but you gotta pay in advance. So how many of you are there? So let's see how many of them are there. It's 2d4. Hopefully not too many, but the good thing is it's only a few hours, so we can manage, even though if I do not have enough cabins or passenger space. We are 5. All right, so with me that's 6, that fits. All right, so get your crew together and yeah, lock down the ship, lock the coordinates, and I'll see you in the hatch. So then I head over and they do all this, and then we continue and reach Elradur. So, and it's a medium security system. So now I'm switching to the procedure for arriving in a planetary system and approaching a planet. When you have traveled to a new star system and exit FTL travel and are on your way towards the planet, use this procedure. Again, we check for a random encounter. High security system, only 1 in 6. Medium security system, which is where we are, 2 in 6. So this is what we will do. So we arrive in the Elradur system, scientific research, planet, medium security, and low population. And there's a 2 in 6 chance. So on a 1 or 2 on a d6, there will be a random encounter. It's a 1, so yes. So we generate a system space encounter. So while we are approaching the planet, let's roll. So we exit FTL travel and we make our approach through the system to descend to the planet as my scanners pick up something, a descriptor object. Let's determine first if it affects me or another. So 1 to 3 is another object and 4 to 6 affects my ship. 6, so my ship. So a descriptor object that does something and my ship is involved. So the descriptor is a D12. It is a 4. It's a drifting, whatever, drifting D20. A drifting capital warship. This is interesting. A drifting capital warship that is activity and it affects my ship. So this, of course, this is for chasing. All right, so a drifting capital warship that is chasing my ship. All right, so we got to work with that a little now. So a drifting capital warship, well, it is drifting. So it's, let's disregard the drifting. So drifting is more like for the, so it's a capital warship that is chasing my ship. So let's say it's a capital warship that is on patrol there for whatever reason. Usually this would be also step 2 to check if I'm target for an inspection in the arrival procedure. But I will work with what I got here now. So because my ship is also wanted. So there's a capital warship in the system, and because this is like a generic, but a capital warship in this case means, of course, an imperial warship, an imperial capital ship. But I will not go overboard because this is the Outer Rim, so they won't have like a big Star Destroyer there. So, but still a capable vessel. It'll be a Strike class cruiser. Those are 400 meters long. Let me get, wait, do I have it at the ready? I got the Imperial source book. I'll be right back. Let me see. Yeah. So this beauty here is the Imperial source book from the good old West End Games D6 era time, early 90s. I even know where I got this. Actually, I got this one in a bookstore in Washington, D.C. while I was on a school trip with my English class. So we did a student exchange with a school in Atlanta, but before we went there, we had like 2 or 3 days in Washington doing sightseeing. And during these sightseeing tours, I went into a bookstore and I got this Imperial source book in Washington in the early 90s or mid 90s. And here we have capital ships 49. Here, the Strike Cruiser, yeah, 450 meters, a capital. So this is a pretty capable vessel. It is modular. It can be Strike Cruiser, called the fleet's best kept secret. Everybody knows to avoid Star Destroyers, but the Strike Cruiser comes as a surprise to many. All right, so each Strike Cruiser can carry a company of troops, 2 AT-STs and 1 AT-AT Walker, and it houses 1 squadron of TIE fighters as well, and it can be configured for special missions. All right. Yeah, I'm actually not believing what I see. So I arrive in the system at my scanners, beep, 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 beep. They pick up an Imperial class Strike Cruiser. And not only do they pick it up, but they also inform me, and I can see this on my scopes, that the Strike Cruiser is actually on an intercept course. So it's coming up behind me and it's it wants to chase me and it hails me. YT 1300. This is the Imperial Cruiser. What is it called? The Imperial Cruiser Dominator. This is the Imperial Cruiser Dominator. Please, or not please, they don't say please. They go, shut off your engines, hold your position. You are targeted for an Imperial inspection and ID check. And I'm like, negative, Dominator, negative. We got technical difficulties. Our life support is failing, and I got I got shipwrecked spacers on board. We barely made it out. We need to get to atmosphere. We need to get to atmosphere. Well, damn. I'm thinking, because they don't have a. They have a high launch facilities, but do they have a hangar big enough to get me in there? I don't. Probably. I mean, it's 450 meters. Yeah, I guess. So they go, negative. You're due for an inspection. We will reel you in with our tractor beam into our hangar. We got a pressurized environment there. We got atmosphere there. Damn. So the thing is, I'm wanted, and I don't want them to confiscate my ship and arrest me and everything. So I need to make a run for it. So let's check the speed here of this, what was it, 49? Because I got a souped up ship. So the strike cruiser, but those capital ships, actually, they're quite fast. Yeah, so it's got a space speed of 6, and I got a space speed of 7. So I'm only a little bit faster, but it's still behind me. They got tractor beam projectors, ion cannons, and turbo lasers. And of course, they can launch TIE fighters. So I gotta make a run for it. So I'm going to address these my passengers. I'm sorry, but there's no way I'm letting this Imperial Cruiser inspect me or reel me in with a tractor beam. Strap yourselves in. I know a few maneuvers. I gotta lose them. All right, and then let's start a chase scene. But time is already up. I will continue this story arc off camera, because this is my private game. It'll will stay my private game. But I wanted to showcase some elements of my product, and I think I was able to do so. So you got sort of an idea of the encounters, how the encounter generator works, and yeah, you can check what's in there, taking a look at the table of contents. So yeah, that was basically an additional video for this weekend. And if you like what you saw, please do subscribe to the channel. But even more importantly, please pick up my framework for space opera solo RPG games. And while you're at it, pick up my Shadowdark supplements as well. Then you have a nice little solo RPG gaming space opera package. Yes, so this is it for today. I hope you have a wonderful start into the weekend, and as always, stay safe and stay healthy, and I will see you again soon. Bye bye.